Right, so let's see. Yep. So seems like we are live. And hello everyone. I haven't been streaming or doing videos for quite a while, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't really writing code or doing anything. I just as normal, I keep working on code and stuff, and it just didn't get time to work on any videos. So sorry about that. Hopefully, later on, once things get a little bit better, I can get back to it. I really should to share more content. And so for today, I'm going to do this streaming just for learning Sig. I hope I pronounce it right, the Ziglang. So Ziglang, it is the language that's behind the Bun engine, the JavaScript engine, the new engine that came out that got a lot of interest and is pretty interesting. But for me, I am interested in the language that the guy wrote one, which is Sig, because Sig provides some very interesting mix of things that language features that I am interested in, because as you know, I'm working on the just-func language, and as I'm working on it, there are something I want to put my hands on it, try to write it up, and some the problems that I want to solve. And so Sig provides some of the answers, I think it may. So for working on the just-func, that's why I'm trying to learn the Sig. And one way to do that is to go through the exercise in this Zigling. So first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. If you go to the Zigling itself, so if we go to the Sig language, right? So over here, that's where you can find information, documentation, and getting started information over here. And it shows you about how to install Sig. And I'm not going to go through that in this stream, and I already did that, and it is not hard. You just follow the steps over here in this page, right? And then after you do that, try to learn about the Sig. So here, let's see if I can find it. Okay, up here, learn. So there's this language reference, and then down here there's the in-depth overview and some why Sig is created, right? When there are C++, D, and Rust, and I'm pretty interested in Rust also, and there's some code example and getting started over here. So down here, there's this online learning resource, and one is the Ziglearn and one is the Zigling. So that's where you get to this Zigling site. So to use this repository, what you need to do is you clone it and then try to follow the steps, try to build. And so because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fork it and try to do it in my own repository, my own fork for this, because it's keep updating, which is a great thing, and more things will be there in the future. And by doing a fork, it allows me to save my progress and to keep track of it in my own Git commit history, so that I can go back to it in the future and update, see what's changed, and so on. So to do that, I'm going to create this as a fork, and then copy the main branch only. Yes, that's fine. All right, so I get this. So then now I can go to the here. So I can go GitHub repo, Chrome, and then Cyber Uni, and this is Ziglings. Okay, so there you go. So as I mentioned, I already have Sig installed, so that's why I can just run it. And then you can see here, if we go up, I need to open it first. Okay, and then give me a second. Oh, you couldn't see what I did. Okay, so now let me switch over here. So what I did is, well, you saw I fork it, and then over here I created this Sig project by doing a GitHub repository clone. Repo clone. Okay, so then I get it in and open the project, and then what I need to do is do a Sig build, and then it will start from the first error. Okay, so you can see that it just followed exercise. The first one is this exercise 1, the hello world. So this is not working, and then it's pretty easy. What happened is the function declared public. By making it public, by default it is private. So that's how Sig is handling the export. So that's just need to turn this function to a public. Right, then when you run it, then that pass. Okay. All right. So since the initial one probably would be simple, I will just go through a few of them before I doing a commit. So let's take a look at the second one. So expect test, compile time, variable declare or container field. Okay, oops, this was supposed to print a line, but if you got to import, oh, okay, so std, I guess it's const. Yeah, must be there is const because they can only be used at compile time rather than runtime. Okay, so the cons are evaluated at compile time. So meaning they will be built in. So that is something interesting. So when coming from JavaScript, right? JavaScript has cons and let, and of course JavaScript doesn't really have compile time. So maybe that is not a very good example. Let's talk about, say, Rust, right? Rust have three kinds of declarations. You have a cons, which is also compile time, and then have a let, and then let mutable. So it used let versus let mutable to determine if the variable can be changed or not. But so in Sig, the cons is the same as the cons in Rust. And I don't know if there will be a mutable or immutable. I don't think there is, but we'll see. But at least what we can see here is the const in Sig is the same as Rust. Okay, so let's build that. The second one also passed. Great. So let's see for assignment. Let's see, but before that, okay. Because another thing for this streaming is I try to update some settings and see how it works. And one thing, by the way, since this is a stream, just talk about it, because I'm trying to compare the streaming and the video quality between YouTube and Twitch. So because I'm planning to do some game streaming, just for fun, as I'm sometimes playing some games, I might as well stream it. And so I'm trying to set up um, the settings, and then in Twitch, I find out I can use the bitrate, the SB, using CBR, and the bitrate can set up to like 15,000 to give a good quality streaming. Is actually surprising. It allows me to do so, so that the quality of the stream is good, because when you play games, there is a lot of movement. So the bit rate, if you can go higher, is much better. But in the YouTube, it was saying the current right now I'm actually set it to 15,000, but the bit rate that YouTube detect is right now is 8,600, 8,700, something like that. So of course, it's because of the content that we are doing right now is just text and so on, and a bubble head over here just talking about things. So the bitrate that is actually needed and first used and detected by YouTube is not as high as what I said, right? But the interesting thing is the 87,000 is still about the rough number that I said in the past, which is about 8,500. And so, well, that's just a mumbo jumbo about that. And if you are interested in doing streaming and stuff, there's just some additional information for you. Okay, so let's go back to here. Exercise number 3. So it seems we got a little bit carried away, making the constant 8, right? It's okay. It's okay. Just leave it there. It seems that we got to carry away, but everything cons 8. Well, yeah, cons cannot change. Unsigned 8-bit. And okay, let's see, because just describing that doesn't really help. So yeah, of course, this doesn't work. It's a const. Const, you cannot change it, right? Yeah, cannot assign to const. So I guess it's changed to let var. I think, yeah, it's var. So that is that. This is too big for U8. So maybe I need to change it to U16. Yep, and that's set to U16. Oh no, U6, even U16 won't work. 16 is up to 85, well 64K. Right, so this is more than that. So this need to be U32. So negative 11, well, you need to be signed, which is I8. So there's no error in the there's just explanation. Oh, okay, so that it will print it out. So let's see. All right, yep, this pass. All right, now it will make more sense. The first param is a string. Oh, okay, yeah, this just talk about how SIG do the debug print, right? It use this template, and I think, is it Rust? Yeah, I think Rust is doing the same thing also, like that, right? Just fill in three variables, right? And the dot, this dot is something that I don't understand yet. Is it any type? Maybe it's for any type. If I do that, it would say no. Okay, I think it's defining the defining a structure. It's a shorthand for defining a structure. Okay, let's continue. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's learn some array basics, right? So here, that's how we in Sig define an array, which, you know, to me it looks weird, but you know, in C, or what is it in C? You were saying something like that, but this is reversed. So I don't know what which language suggests doing that, and then obviously Sig does the same thing. And what is the benefit for doing this? Doing it this way. Actually, I'm not sure. But continue. If any one of you, when you see this, see this video, and you know, you feel free to add it in the comment. So yeah, well, let's just take a look at the problem first. So for problem 1, this const is going to cause problem later. So how do we fix it? So how is the sum prime is being used? Well, it's being used like this. Why would it cause? Oh, because it's a const. Because it was trying to change it. Is that right? Maybe that's right. So let's go back to C. Let's learn some array basics. It declares can infer, right? If it can use the underscore to infer the size. You can also let seg to infer the type. So meaning I can do this, or doing it like this. That's it. That's it. It doesn't show what the inferred type is. Okay. Don't know yet. For that, we'll probably need to read the documentation. Get the value using index notation. Set values using index location. The length is using len. Okay. So it can be set with that. This line change the first prime to 2, which is correct. Yes, because 1 is not a prime number. So, and then you get the first one. Problem 2. Look like we need to complete this expression to set to the fourth element. Fourth element is the third, right? First, second, third, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Use the length property. Well, okay, simple length, and then print. So my guess is because this is changed and this is handled in compile time, this is actually saved as const inside the program. That's why doing the set will not work, because it's const. Let's see. Okay, yep, cannot assign to const. Right, so need to change this to var. After changing that, yep, that works. All right, so far so good. Next one. So Sig has some fun array operators. Yeah, when they talk about fun, typically I don't like it. But one thing that Sig said is, you know, the benefit of the Sig language is that there's no hidden cost, and what you can kind of like what you see is what you get, and the control flow, all those things is nice. So I would expect that the number of syntax form it has is pretty small, which is a great thing, right? And also one thing that is very, very interesting that it doesn't have macro. Even Rust have macro. That is one thing that I also kind of don't like about it, but and Zig doesn't have it, and it's able to do generics by manipulating type at compile time. That is one thing that I really interested in, because in the just-func I try to do the same thing, but the question is, the approach, how to do it, and what are the operations that we can uh, work on, we can use against the types, is something that I want to figure out, because we want to make it, one thing I was trying to work on right now, trying to write up for just-func, is to think about the proposal for type as first class construct in the language. And it seems to me that Zig is doing that, but I want to know more about it, right, on how Zig does it, and how does it different than what I was thinking about. So anyway, so back to here. We can use the plus plus to concatenate the array. And then this to repeat the array. Personally, I didn't like that. Yeah, personally, I didn't like that. This is a special thing that we need to think about. So when I was looking at the documentation, or in the Ziglearn, the Learning Zig article, or the book, I should say, I saw this and I was thinking, well, it's actually not that hard, to say, just make it a function, make it a normal function, right? So concat and a b, and whatever this u8 5, right, like that, right? It's not that hard. The same thing over here. So const d equals to repeat, right? Repeat. Well, the syntax, the order in this case doesn't really matter that much, because they are the same. Although if you come from Haskell, right, in pure functional programming, you might be saying this is probably better, right? U8 1 2 1 2 3, like this, because then you can do a partial application or querying. You say, oh, you want to create a repeat to, then repeat twice, right? Repeat twice would be equals to repeat 2, right? Of course, in Haskell, right? Then you were able to create a more specialized applications from the more general one, right? So yeah, but the bottom line back in here is that I don't really see the benefit of having a special syntax for it. And so in the just-func, I won't do something like this. But one thing I do notice that is this is type manipulation have something similar. So maybe then it's just repeating reusing the same form for the for different purposes to make it more usable. But I still think that this might be something that as I'm designing the language, I won't commit to do. But anyway, that's how Zig is. So this is plus plus is concatenation, and this is doing a repeat. Only operating on array while your program is being compiled. So this is done at compile time. Okay, this is const. And well, yes, because the array is a static construct. It's not like vector or something, right? The size of the array is fixed, right? So that's why it has to be in done in compile time. So the special time is known in SIG parlance as come time. Okay, that's that. Problem 1, set this array concatenating the one above. Okay, so LE plus ET. Problem 2, set this array using repetition. So the repetition is that, obviously, 1 0 0 1. Right. Multiple. Oh. Okay. Use this. Okay. So by the way, if you don't know, if you're interested in doing this also, right? When you're setting up VS Code, there's this SIG, and then also there's this SIG language server. Right now, I just have both installed. I don't know which one is better. This have more downloads, but it's a 3.5 star with 3 reviews, and over here is a 5 star with 11s. So I don't know which is better yet. This is a language server, it says. So that sounds a little bit better. But don't know. If any of you knows which is the one you would recommend, let me know. So back to here. Okay, let's hide that. Okay, that's all for the program. Let's see the result. We could print this, but let's have a little preview of the for loop. Okay, for the for loop. Yeah, so this is the I forgot what they call. Well, we'll see down later on. So for each, right? This is it's essentially in SIG. This is a for each, or the for all for in thing. So it go over a iteratable. In this case, it's an array. So then you will able to extract out and say assign the elements inside the iterable to a variable over here, and then just use that variable. Right. So if you are familiar with JavaScript, so that will be similar to let x in y, right? Like that. Right. So well, for the example, let n in it. Is it in, on, off? It's all that madness. I don't do that. I would say lead for each n. Okay, do whatever you want. So I don't care about those two syntax. Okay, so it loops that, and then the bit patterns. So over here, the bit patterns is also an array. Delete is also an array. I combine that, loop that over, print. So let's see the result. Okay, so lead is 1337, expected, right? This numbers, also this number is something, nothing too fancy. So string. Now we have learned about array, we can talk about strings. We have already seen SIG string literal hello world, right? As array of bytes. It's almost the same. What string really are? I recall it's the same as Rust that is support UTF-8. So, which is great. It is a huge improvement over other lower level languages. So, well, that's that. Notice how individual character use single quote, which is character. Of course, this is lower level stuff, right? It's not JavaScript. Use square bracket to get the letter D, which is 5, right? 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so By the way, give me a second. I forgot to do one thing. All right. Okay, I'm back. So that's done. Use array repeat to make ha ha ha. Okay. Repeat 3 times. Use the array concatenation, major Tom, major plus Tom. So it's the same. Oh, you need to add a space, plus single character space, plus Tom. So that's all. Let's see. Oh, it's a thing. It's a string. I need to add concatenate string, not concatenate, not adding a character in there. So print but found expect the u. Where's the u? Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4. Oh. All right, pass. Okay, string 2. It's a fun one, has multi-line string. Put at the beginning of each line, just like a code comment, but with backslashes instead. Like this? No. So this is a comment. This is okay. Like that. Okay. I definitely like the string template, the template literal in JavaScript better. How does Rust handle that? I forgot. We need to look it up. Does it have multi-line support, multi-line string support? Yeah, because that's will be a lot of writing. Right. In JavaScript, just in case you don't know, JavaScript, the string template literal will be just that. Just like that. Of course, well, you would normally write it like this. But anyway, so this is multi-line string. Let's see. Yep. So one thing, sig pay the guitar, and the spider from star. No, hold on a second. Lyrics. Where is the Siggy? Siggy play E. This is line 1, line 2. This doesn't look right. But found, okay. Okay, so it did play, right? But found that. So it did print this out. However, okay, there you go. Print out. My guess is this is a VS Code issue. Sticky play Jimmy Good, and then it kind of randomly eating up some lines. That's bad. Yeah, it's probably there's still some bug in the VS Code terminal, the integrated terminal, or maybe because I was using new. Let me see. Let me switch it to PowerShell and see what do I get. So this works. I make it smaller. This also work. Yeah, it's about integrated shell with new with the new shell. So let me see. Right. So give me a second. I switch over and see, damn it. Yeah. Oh. Uh, hmm. Seems like for some reason, yeah, OBS couldn't see the Windows terminal. I didn't know that. Or I would say something is not right. Give me a second, because really shouldn't be not working. So here, okay. So go back to new. So now over here, sig build. Right, so this is printing out. Well, let me see. They make it really small. Sig build. Right, this is doing fine. Right, so smaller. Right, so this is printing out fine. It's capturing. So you can see that it is a problem in the VS Code terminal working with new shell. Is a bug. All right, now back to this. Okay. All right. So this is working. Well, we discover a bug in VS Code, but as for the stream, let's keep going. Go away. This time, let's see if you can fix the whole program. You have to think about this a bit. Let the compiler tell you what's wrong. Let's see if we can fix it without looking at the compiler first. What is this nonsense? I don't know. Use size is an unsigned integer. So it's not type. I think the type will be inferred, right? But will it infer the type? So use size is an unsigned integer that's used for size, right? Depends on CPU architecture here, but use size is the idiomatic type for use for array indexing. Okay, there is a problem on this line, but usign isn't it? Well, if it is a indexing index x, yeah, it's trying to set it. So set it to var. Note when you want to declare a memory, an array without putting anything, you can set it to undefined. There's no problem. Yes. But we need to declare. We need to set it up. The following I'm trying to put z. So put 1 and then I and G into language, just declare array index variable x in 1 to begin with. So 3. So well, let's just fix that first. 1, and then G is 5. Right, 2, and set this to 5. Okay, so this set 0, 1, 2, so this should be fine. So the question is maybe we need to declare the string type. Let's see. Well, we don't. We don't. So okay. Oh, it passed. There you go. That's not a problem. Not that hard, but right, to recap, so this is a size for index. Oh, okay, let's use that. Use of x instead. Of course, it still pass. All right. So that seems fine. So now let's take a look at exercise 9. Now we can get into fun stuff with if statement. The result is usual comparison. Yes, that's all good. Important thing is if statement only accept Boolean. It won't cause numbers and other type, which is fine, which is great. That's one of the strength or the highlight or things that it has. You know, what you see is what you get. Is simple. Just by reading the code, you should know what's going on, right? And foo is 1, so make it equals to 1. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Not much else. Okay, next. If statement also expression, right? This is important, right? That if statement is expression. Rust is the same thing, and so there is no ternary operator over here. So if else expression to set the price, if so I guess discount, right? The price will be if this, the price will be 17, else the price will be 20, and you need to add a semicolon at the end because it's an expression. So regarding that, right, so it needs that to determine if it is an expression or not. So one thing I'm thinking about when I was reading this, and Rust also Rust is the same thing, is it possible to ignore it? Because well, in JavaScript you can ignore it, and in Python it's use indentation, right? So when the if statement is both a statement and an expression, can it omit the semicolon in some way to do that? Or maybe it will always be treated as a expression instead of a statement. But I think it depends on the language design. Like say in Rust, it have the feature that it will do an implicit return if the last line is written in a certain way. It's kind of similar to PHP. And so would that cause confusion when we can omit the semicolon? I don't know. That's something you need to think about. And also speaking of about statement versus expression, the what I'm thinking is I kind of like this. I like this, but Rust and Zach is doing this and it's still new to me. It probably takes some time to get used to. And for me, in the JavaScript world, I use ternary operator heavily. And so const x equals to y and 1 or 2, right? Say for example like that, right? And you can nest it, you can do a lot of crazy stuff. Some crazy nesting about it. Yes, it could make it a little bit harder to read, quote unquote, but if you align it properly, personally, I don't see much of a problem. So let's say like this, right? And 1, if not, then Z, and then 2, 3, for example, like that. It's not too hard to read, but it's a preference. You can, if you really want to make it clear, and some Ziglings and force you to do that, put a curve braces around it, and that's fine, right? Although one thing I think, this syntax, right, able to use the if statement as an expression instead of just a statement and just replacing the ternary operation, is that the form of the language is simpler, because the if statement and function call in general are all using the prefix notation, right? So it is a say making a function call, right, for xy, is the operator is the function for and call x and y, right? And while on the other hand, the infix notation, right, z equals to 1 plus 2, right? The 1 plus 2 is using an infix notation where the operator, the plus, is in the middle. And that is the same thing for the ternary operator, right? These are in the middle. It's a y and then question mark, and then you have this. But the if statement, this make it more like the prefix notation, right? So it's almost like if, right, if x, right, then if discount, and then 17 if else 20, right? Something like that. So in just-func, it will be the same, right? It's all prefix notation. I don't plan to introduce any infix notation. I don't think that makes sense over there. And so it will be this, if the 7, if discount, right? So count, then 17 else 20, like that. So I definitely like this kind of syntax more and more, and I think it's a good thing. It makes, probably after you get used to it, it makes it easier to write code, because the form is all prefix notation. Of course, you can see that it already breaking it have both, right? The cons are the array equals to x plus y. This is infix notation, and the same for this the repeat. This is infix notation. So I don't think the Ziglang is trying to get away from it. It's just that it happens. I don't know who copy what, or it copy from another language, maybe from D or something. I don't know where this if statement as an expression originates from, and probably the author of Zig is just getting used to that, and also thinks that that is a good thing to add, which I agree. It's a great thing. And in Rust, you have the match. Is also an expression. I think in the Zig it also have something similar. So yeah, that make the code easier to write is always a good thing. So anyway, with that, this should pass, I think. Yes. All right. So we have done 10. So let's do a commit. I haven't have anything set up. So complete 1 to 10. Okay, what time is it? 50 minutes. So let's go for 10 minutes more. Let's make it an hour and then call it a night. So exercise 11. While statement create a loop that runs while the condition is true. This runs once at most. At most? At most? What does it say at most? Not too clear about what it say. So if the while condition is set the condition to false, and then it will exit out. Maybe that's what it means. Oh yeah. Because if the condition is false, it won't run one at all. If it's true, then it's set it to false and then go away. Remember that the condition must be a boolean, same thing as the if, which is good. So just okay, continue. Use the condition is true until n reach n times 2, while n equals to 1024. 2 equals, not 3. All right, so when I run this should pass. Oh no. Reaches. But found n equals. Less than or equals to. What am I doing? Well, when you say reaches, until n reaches. Well, yeah, you're right. If you say until it reaches, then I can yeah, it's a less than. Okay. All right. So say while statement can be an optional have an optional continue expression. Yeah. Yeah, when I read this, what should I say? I don't know what I feel about it. You know, well, okay, I feel like that is kind of extra. The first time I see this is I'm thinking about for statement, right? So the classical for var I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Right, so that you have a continue expression over here. Okay, but traditionally in while loop, right, you don't have that, and you just put it in the inside the body of the while loop. So I don't really know if there is a need for that. You know, maybe it's just try to, because the for statement in the insect is the for in loop, the iterator. So it needs a construct to kind of get this kind of traditional style for statement back in. So that's why I have it. But personally, I don't see the need of it. Maybe there are certain cases that this is useful. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think when I first see this, and when I see this the first time. So example, Barbara and f plus equal to 2, right? If you can, and also this, right? This is, you know, if you're doing Rust, you know, this is It's immutable. Well, which it is over here. No, never mind what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's getting late. See if you can rewrite the last exercise using a continue expression. Oh, okay. So put that and that. Right. So that's it. Pretty simple. All right. So kind of the benefit, yes, you know, having this construct is keeping the body to do the things that it's trying to do and keep the conditions of the while loop to the while loop itself. So the code might looks a little bit cleaner. So the separation of concern is a little bit better. However, I personally feel that this really could be a foot gun, because well, you can put it over here, but then you can also press equal to 1, depends on, and then you can do that depends on the condition and stuff. So putting it here is only useful for some very simple thing, and if that is the case, might not. Personally, I don't find it worth it to add a new syntax form for this purpose. Right? I would just let it. Okay, you do whatever you need inside the body of the while statement. Right. So to me, I still think this is quite extra. In the last two exercises, the identical continue really show the utility when using with continuous statement. Okay, so it's just standard continue expression. So I want to print every number. And so the FISBUS. This is just the FISBUS example. So plus equals 1 every time it press 1. If it's 3, continue is 5. Continue, skip. That's all. The percentage is modulo is the same as any same as most other language, so that's fine. All right, so we have 2 minutes left. You can force a loop to exit with the break statement. Okay, just break. Oh dear, it's infinite loop. Please fix this. So the print statement. It failed to compile. It didn't get to infinite loop. Will this kill my computer? No, because let's not try that. Let's not try that. I don't want to. I don't want to kill the stream. Okay. So please fix this to the desired output. N equals to what? Oh, we want n is equal to 4. If so n equals to 4, then break. All right. Do we have time for this too? Well, and then there's a quiz over here. Let's go all the way to the quiz. Okay, behold the for loop. So blah blah blah, doing this, the story, sorry, HXS and H, a dramatics story. Oh, returns an empty thing, so because it's not expecting anything. Okay, so for slice. So what do we want to do here? If scene for for story, okay, story, we get the scene. If it is H, it's print this. If not, it print that. Let's see what does it print. So happy, sad, expressionless, happy, then okay. All right, for loop can store the index. So that's the item and the index. Okay, so this is where are you using the index I? Okay, that's where the I is being used. Build it. I think it will pass. All right. Is that right? Yeah, the next is the quiz. So let's store. Is there anything special about this? Convert the binary bits from number, figure it out. Note that we convert it to I. Yeah. So here, this is something that is interesting, and this is about the type as a first class. So you can see that U32 is a type, but like as in here, but here it is using as a variable, which is also is a variable. And I don't know how well how SIG is doing this, is detecting this, or is this really a runtime variable or not, or it through here this is done at the compile time to do this. This is probably done at compile time, I guess. This probably is a runtime variable because to do the math power, or maybe it is a compile time that the PAL understand and convert it using a certain function, kind of like an overload. I don't know, but it depends on how it is implemented. But this is something very interesting. All right, that is one of the reasons that I'm interested in learning SEC. So, well, it passed. So import, well, we saw that many times. Import std, std. I think that's how it's done. It's done over here. Yep. Import that. Function. I think it's just called fun, right? Or fn. Fn. Okay. Yeah. So I think Rust is the same. There's some other language that have multiple language. Some was doing fn, some was doing fun, some is doing func. So yeah, I mess up quite a lot. So let's make this. This is probably need to be a public FizzBuzz. Well, we already did that. The other one was a FizzBuzz. So UI U8 I, it is a not an index, so it is okay. How far do we want to go? Stop at 16, so U8 is fine. Stop at 16. This probably we can make it as a const. What kind of loop it is this? This is a while loop. Right, so while I is less than or equal to that, is print fizz, this print bus, and then this prints so this is called FizzBuzz already. If it's not, and that, put it here. Or space, I guess. I guess that's what it is. Oh no, this is print a semicolon. I don't know, but I don't know what's it want for that one. Oh, something wrong. cannot format array ref without a specifier. Okay. Space. Do we really need to print out anything? What is the oh, print out the number. Oh. When it is not, it prints out the number. There you go, like that. All right. So that passed. So complete quiz 2. There you go. So that concludes our streaming today. So hope you enjoy this, and yeah, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, I'll try to do more streaming down the road, and probably within this week I will do another one to continue this Zigling learning experience. Is great. You know, I really like this Zigling, so shout out to the author, which is Red Factor, right? So thank you for creating this interesting learning exercises. So it is cool. It is a great idea. Just continue doing this, and thank you. So, well, that's the end of this stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, and we will see you in the next one. All right. Bye bye. Oh, I forgot the intro and outro. So let's go for the outro. So